Hi everyone. Um, I know that this video kind of is beginning a little weird with my profile picture showing up, um, but I'm actually recording this video right now to make a pretty big announcement. Um, and so I really wanted to kind of not shock anybody first. I have a profile picture up right now, but what I'm going to share with you right now is something that took me over 20 years to admit to myself, something that took me 24 years to admit to others, and almost 25 years to finally have the courage to record this video. Um, and then I'll explain why I'm sharing this and why now, why this, why am I doing it this way, and then what this means. But that being said, I also hope that this shows a little bit of the human side of professionals, of college professors, of people who live around you. But it's something that's just been really important, and it's going to become significantly more crucial as this year progresses. So with that said, I guess I'll just go ahead and say it. I'm transgender. I am a transgender woman. And so with that said, let me reintroduce myself. Hi there. Um, my name is not Terrence, at least even though that's still my legal name. My preferred name and the name that I will be using going forth is Alicia. And so my name is Alicia. I use she, her pronouns. This is something that it took me over 20 years to come to terms with. It's something that I struggled with and wrestled with for a really, really long period of time. For many years before I got into this profession, before I met many people. And yet it's something that's really, really crucial and a really big, important part of my life. And so it's really been on my heart now to share this. So why am I doing this and why now? Well, I mean, first off, yeah, I mean, this is probably a pretty big shock to some people. Some of you probably already know, some of you have probably heard through the grapevine. Others have probably heard in other ways. Maybe you know me personally and you're watching this. But others, for you, this may be totally out of left field, or you may wonder, like, why would I share this? Or is it appropriate to share this? I'm sure that will be a debate at times. But let me explain why I'm sharing this and why I'm sharing this now. There are actually two big reasons. The first one is, and this is in no way, shape, or form to say anything about other sexualities or gender identities, but when coming out as transgender and then actually going through a gender transition, there is quite a bit of change that happens. There's a lot of visual change. There's a lot of change in how you're dressed, what your pronouns are. And, you know, the fact of the matter is that that's something that I'm pursuing. Alicia is not somebody who is going to stay or has been staying behind closed doors. And in fact, I've already come out to all my superiors. I've come out to a lot of my colleagues. I've been actively involved in the LGBTQ community at my school. And so, yeah, that's actually something that has actually been a really big thing for me. But the fact of the matter is that this is starting to move even further beyond that and into the direction of I will be likely very soon stepping into the classroom as Alicia, and will likely begin working towards living full-time as Alicia and doing what is called a gender transition. And what that means is over time, I'm going to look differently. I'm going to sound differently. I'm going to going to smell differently. I mean, not that people are smelling me, but I'm going to start to definitely take on very different characteristics. And I think I would rather share this with everybody now rather than waiting and rather than surprising everybody by walking into the door, presenting as a woman. And so that's the number one reason. But actually the number two and significantly more important reason is, and this has actually been why I've felt so convicted about actually coming out, is I know for a fact, because I've had students before who have, I've had students before who have either been transgender, came out as transgender, or transitioned or began to transition either in my classes, on my campuses, or in my life. And I feel like I owe it to them, I owe it to myself, and I owe it to all of you to just to say, like, if you are a member of a marginalized community, whether it's the LGBT community, LGBTQ plus community, or whether it is, whether it's anything else, that you're not alone. We live in this world, I think, sometimes that makes it seem like, you know, we're weirdos, or that we don't belong, or that we are one of a kind in the sense that nobody can relate to this, but that's not true at all. The reality is that there are people very likely in your classrooms, on your campus, in your life. There are colleagues, coworkers, friends, and even family members who probably relate quite a bit more to this than you would think. I've been really surprised in the year and a half that I've been out, the people that I've met who identify as trans, non-binary. And I feel like I just want to share that to all of you, that you're not alone. The other important thing too is that there's support for you. There are different agencies, different programs, different services on campus that are available to you. But there's also me that's available to you. Please never hesitate to reach out to me. Never hesitate to come talk to me if there's something that you need support for, need cheerleading for, need or just a warm hug from a friend. I mean, you know, the fact of the matter is that it's so easy to, sorry, I've got something in my eye here. You know, it's so easy. Gosh, I hope I didn't ruin my makeup. It's so easy to sometimes feel like you have to face this incredibly daunting thing by yourself. And the purpose of me shooting this video and coming out and sharing this is that I don't ever want you to feel that way. I don't ever want you to feel like you have to tackle the stresses of your life, whether it's the number of classes you're taking, or whether it's somebody at home who's sick or who's struggling with a debilitating disease, or whether it's coming to terms with your identity, or coming to terms with your sexuality, or coming to terms with something that you feel marginalizes you from many of the people around you. And so I just want to come and just say, like, with a loud, resounding voice, that one, you're not alone, and that two, there are others who are here to help you. And there are others that are here to love you. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to be easy. I know for a fact that, I mean, not to get super personal, but I know for a fact that, you know, that there are even people out there who have sought to harass me. Never a student or colleague or anything like that, but people from outside who have openly sought to dox me or harass me online or do things to make my life terrible. And I'm sure that there are many of you who have been victims of cyberbullying or have been victims of things like that. And while I can't necessarily pretend like I can come and fix that, I could at least make sure that you're not alone. I could be there by your side. I think to me, that's the most important thing. It's one thing to come out for my own personal desires and the excitement that I really feel about, I mean, I'm already an excited person, but the excitement that I feel about actually being able to be Alicia and come to campus as Alicia, and the excitement that I feel about finally being able to express something about myself that's been so important to me for so many years. Yeah, I've had to hide it. But I think the more exciting and the more important thing to me is being able to support others and being able to show others, whether they're my students, my colleagues, my friends, family members, that it's okay, that you are still loved, that you are still embraced, that you are still cared for, and that there are people in your life that are still going to be there for you and that are still going to support you and that are still going to love you. And so for me, that is really the biggest reason why I'm doing this right now. So what does this mean? I mean, for most people, the reality is that this really, it doesn't mean a whole lot. If you're taking a class with me right now, whatever I put down on my syllabi as far as my name and my pronouns, it's totally fine if you continue to refer to me as that. I'm not going to suddenly say, no, now, no more. Like whatever you were referring to me as, or however I presented as when the class began, will stay that way. But I'm hoping in the future, and really the not so distant future, to begin living life as Alicia, and to begin living it to the fullest as Alicia. I'm really excited about that. I still got to work on my makeup, but I'm really excited to actually have a presence. And if nothing else, to show people that it's okay to live your life authentically. I'm really excited about that. But really, it's not meant to be some kind of like shocking, everything changes now kind of thing. The fact of the matter is I'm still the same person. I'm still a weather nerd. I still love geeking out about this stuff. I still love sharing it with all of you. And that will never change. That's something that I have loved since I was born. I mean, and that's something that'll never change. I mean, really, the thing that changes is how I present, maybe how I'm addressed. But other than that, the reality is that I'm still going to be the same nerdy, geeky person. I'm still going to be the same excited person. I'm still going to be the same passionate person. Like none of that changes. If anything, I'm hoping that now that I'm presenting as my authentic self, I'm not held back by, having to feel like I'm having to fill a role that I felt like I wasn't meant to fill. But I'm now just being myself. I'm hoping, if nothing else, that makes it even more apparent, more excited, more like more passionate, because I'm not being held back. But I also just want to stress, if you have questions about this, and sorry, I keep on having something in my eye here. That's okay. This is organic. Let's roll with it. But if you have questions about this, if there's something that you're concerned about, or if there's something that you want to say to me, I'm not going to actually put a whole lot of public information on here, because once again, I know that there are some people that may watch this that may want to come after me. But use the email address that I've given you, or follow me on Instagram at alwaysAliciaT. Or reach out to me using the channels that I've provided for you. Those are still available. Those are still the exact same. That doesn't change. So that's it. I mean, that's my big announcement. That's really the big thing. And this is something I'm out to all my family, I'm out to all my friends, I'm out to all my coworkers and superiors. So this isn't a surprise to any of them. but this is just something that I felt like I really owed to all of you now, those of you who I've been honored to teach and geek out with about weather, to hear. So that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope you watch this, and take care. Bye.